So far, we have been talking about all the different restrictions on international trade that countries put to protect their domestic industries, to increase the government revenue. Now, we're going to talk about how we do the opposite, where we encourage international trade, or at least at a regional level, and try to get the benefits of international trade, where you can focus on certain specialized products, where one country has a certain competitive advantage and they can specialize in that product, where I gave you the example of France and Belgium with the wine and chocolate. So this is the positive side of things, that how you can develop a regional trading bloc between a group of countries that are close to each other geographically, and eliminate or at least reduce the barriers to trade between those countries, maybe even have a free movement of other factors of production such as capital and labor. And this will obviously move towards zero or low tariffs between members. Now, this is a very nice diagram that shows you, and I'm going to blow this up and show you in a bigger font. So don't worry about the small font right now. I just want to show you the big picture first, that what is the flow going to be like. On one extreme, we have a free trade area where internally between those countries trade will be there. But on the other extreme, we have a monetary union, that this is a higher degree or the highest degree of integration. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through these different parts of this diagram, which shows the various types of regional trading blocks in an increasing order of integration, which this one is the highest degree of integration, which we will discuss last. So let's start with free trade area. Now, a free trade area, and the example given over here is the North American Free Trade Agreement, which is between US, Mexico, and Canada. They are, of course, all North America. And here they are members, so there is no trade restrictions among the members. However, each of the members maintains its own policies against non-members. So Mexico might have a different policy towards Brazil. USA might have a different policy towards Brazil, right? Moving on to a customs union, more integration is there, that not only is there free movement of goods among the members and services among the members, but also they have a common trade policy towards non-members, right? So think of Belgium, Luxembourg, Netherlands, that they will have the open trade between themselves, and they will have the same terms towards France. All three of them will have exactly the same terms towards France as well. And this is obviously old. Now they are all part of the euro. But a customs union is where the free movement of goods and services is there among members, and a common policy against non-members. A common market is not only free movement of goods and services, but also of factors of production such as labor and capital among member countries. So think of Argentina, Brazil, Paraguay and Uruguay, where not only can you import and export goods without tariffs, but people and capital can also flow freely among these countries. Next, moving further into a higher degree of integration is an economic union, where not only do you have a common market, you also have common economic institutions and common economic policies, both monetary and fiscal. And think of the European Union consisting of 28 members. And then finally, a monetary union where not only the policies are the same, but even the currency is the same. And out of these 28 members, only 18 are part of the European Union, which have the same currency as well. This is, of course, the highest degree of integration that you can have to benefit from the benefits of international trade. So, why is this more popular at a regional level than a whole international level? Because smaller group of countries are easily able to come together, and they find it politically less contentious and faster to develop these regional blocks compared to what the World Trade Organization has been trying to do is open up the whole world for international trade, trying to bring together China and the US. And that is also a very good initiative. But it's harder to do compared to regional integration. And even at the regional integration, there are difficulties. Because, see, of course, there is a benefit. The benefit is that there is trade creation. And think of the France and Belgium example, that the low cost imports will benefit all the partners in that regional bloc, where if Belgium makes very good low cost chocolate, then everybody can benefit from it, and France can cut their higher cost domestic production of chocolate, and vice versa. If France has low cost wine, then Belgium can benefit from it. However, maybe Australia has even cheaper wine, but Belgium will buy wine from France instead of buying it from Australia, because France is a member country and Australia is a non-member country. So this is an example of trade diversion. That because you're not doing it for the whole world, you're only doing it for the region, then certain countries will be out of that region. So there will be trade diversion. But then again, even integration at a regional level is difficult to achieve. What to talk about a global level? So what are the challenges to deeper integration? And we're talking about a regional level over here, that even within the region, and think of France and Germany, that they are so close now with respect to having even a similar, they have the same currency, that they are in the European monetary unions, they even have the same currency now, but the history that they have of World War I, World War II, some differences in culture, there is some historical consideration. So eventually this has been and will probably continue to be somewhat of a challenge in the level of economic integration you can achieve, and it will put limits to that integration. Okay, so that is the end of this learning module. We're going to go through the summary. We talked about the benefits of international trade. Of course, it increases efficiency. There are costs of international trade, and because the benefits are not equally distributed, so certain workers are displaced, profits are either lost or not equally distributed across different sectors. So some of the industries might be closed. However, the big picture is that the net benefit is more than the cost. And then we talked about the different types of restrictions that you can place. There is tariffs, quotas, export subsidies, and voluntary export restraints. And we talked about all of these in detail. And then finally, we talked about the different trading blocks, common markets, and economic unions you can have with the highest degree of integration with a monetary union.